Hey guys, my name is Alex, and this is another video about my reselling venture. Finding things that I've owned for a very long time and relisting them on eBay, and alternately going to thrift stores and garage sales and trying to find things for super cheap there that I can also flip on these online selling platforms, try to earn a few extra bucks on top of my job at a grocery store. And today was a very good day with respect to reselling because today at 8 a.m., right when the post office opened, I went over there with 8 items that I was shipping out to buyers around the country. But today was also kind of like worrisome because I woke up with a back pain that I know stems from my work at the grocery store. In the course of any given shift, you're hoisting dozens and dozens of 15, 20, 40-pound boxes. Some of them are full of bananas, some of them are full of canned goods, some of them are full of olive jars. And this morning I was basically crawling into the shower. Fortunately, the hot shower alleviated things, but it brought shit to mind. It brought to mind the fact that, like, if I suffer a physical injury, I won't be able to do this job. It's a harrowing idea, I think, if you are a creative sort of person, if you're an introvert like me, if you live very much in your head, to realize that your income, your survival is predicated pretty much entirely on your physical abilities to go to a place or to walk to a place, stand on your feet for 8 hours, hoist boxes, throw boxes. And it makes me think of, like, there's a colleague, I should not say her name when I tell you this story, but I feel like something would be robbed of the story if I didn't tell you that her name is Brenda. One of the things that sort of alleviates my concern is that I work at this grocery store and a lot of my colleagues are retirees. There's a very healthy company culture. It's a really cool place to work. And so these people retire from a career in education or some sort of caregiving service, and they're looking for something, engaging, sociable, rewarding, and so they go for sort of the steady pace, not incredibly demanding work at this grocery store. But what's interesting about Brenda is that she is in her, I think, her early 70s, and Brenda doesn't give a fuck. She does her job and she does it well, and she's very respectful, and there's a lot of solidarity there between Brenda and all the other crewmates. But Brenda is the kind of employee that if you were like, Brenda, you're fired, Brenda would say, no, I'm not, and it would be so. She would continue to show up and you would continue to pay her. And like 2 weeks ago, I was still training, and they put me at a checkout counter, and I was bagging groceries, 31 years old, bagging groceries, and Brenda was working the cash register. And this was like end of work day rush hour, and so people were coming in like office clothes, because this is South Beach, and as much as it is like Party Central, there are a lot of like office high-rises down here. So there's all these business bros, and one of them comes up to the register, and he is like stereotypical entourage business bro. Very nice shirt, he's wearing ear pods, he's constantly molesting his cufflinks, and he's deep in some kind of call that has to do with the trading of currencies. It's in Japan, it's X amount, so we're gonna do whatever. He's employing the kind of like accounting language that I cannot, it's so abstract, it's so abstruse, it's so jargony and pretentious and obnoxious that I can't even impersonate it. But so Brenda is ringing people up, I am bagging their groceries, and here comes Office Bro with his cufflinks and his ear pods and his very loud, ostentatious phone call. And he's not even looking at us. He's just in his call. Yeah, no, sell it on the high, flip-flop, double scramble. And Brenda is swiping his items, bloop, bloop, and her shoulders come up and she cocks her head back and she looks at me and she says, that's the worst kind of man you can ever become. Don't become like this guy, Mr. Stock Trader. Mind you, as Brenda is telling me to never turn out like this man in front of us, this man is standing in front of us. I'm not exaggerating, he is maybe 20 inches away. He's on his phone and he's molesting himself and he's going on and on, flip-flap, double jack, and Brenda's just swiping his items saying, even if you end up a bag boy for the rest of your life, you'll be better off than turning into this guy. As if it wasn't bad enough, she was shit-talking this dude from 20 inches away. She's now pointing at him, telling me I should never end up like this man, who, frankly, to her credit, he appears not to notice that we're talking about him. Meanwhile, I'm just bagging his groceries like, haha, because I don't want to like call anyone out. I just started working here. I certainly don't want to get on the bad side of Brenda. But at the same time, I don't want the two of us to get in trouble because this dude overhears us, and so I'm like, haha. Chill, Brenda. But also she mentioned like, oh, even if you end up a bag boy for the rest of your life. And I was like, whoa, cool, good job, Brenda, tapping into my most primal fear of the moment. Because one thing about this job is like, it's a fantastic job, and so people want to stay with the company, and they stay with the company and they climb, and you routinely encounter people at this store who are like, yeah, I've been with the company 5 years, 20 years, 15, and I recognize without question that there are far worse fates than to end up with a really cool, fucking rewarding, understanding, innovative, progressive company for years and years and years, and having steady work and great benefits at the same time scares the shit out of me. Hence the importance of like earning some modest or maybe slightly more than modest amount of money by reselling things on eBay, and here are the things that sold today. I sold William Peter Blatty's Legion, his sequel to The Exorcist, in a book club hardcover, which I talked about on this channel. I sold that, I think, for $9, plus you deduct the $3 for the free shipping, and eBay takes 12% of the total. So $9 minus roughly $4.50 means I made not much, but it was something, it was good, I'm glad to have it. I sold the second season of The IT Crowd on DVD for, I think, $6, again, minus like $3.50 for free shipping. One of the bigger sells was the Library of America edition of 1950s noir mystery novels from Ross Macdonald. I think there was 3 or 4 novels collected in that collection. I sold it for $14. I only read the first of those novels, and it wasn't crazy about it. It did string me along to the end. I can't remember the name of it. I would recognize it if it came up. Sold Citizen Kane on Blu-ray, I think for $8. On Mercari, I sold a stress ball with the word boss on it for $8. And also on Mercari, I sold a unopened Blu-ray of Jeremy Saulnier's horror movie Green Room, starring Patrick Stewart and Anton Yelchin. And I've been meaning to talk about Green Room for years. I'm a huge fan of horror movies, and Green Room was one of those movies. I went to see Green Room at a matinee by myself back when it came out in like 2014, 2015. And it was one of those movies, one of the few movies I've seen in my life where I walked out of the theater into the light of day and I said to myself, I'm different now. It is an incredibly visceral horror movie, but it was also kind of like when I went and I snuck in to see Sin City when I was April of my 13th year on the planet. Green Room is a really, really brutal horror movie, but it's also like a crime thriller, and it's a locked room mystery. I strongly recommend it if you've got a stomach for like really, really brutal, violent, horrific, suspenseful, quality filmmaking. Anyways, that's my solid day in reselling. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time.